Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm super pumped. I'm super excited for today's video because as you can see, we're going to be doing a Barca keep or sell. However, before we get started with this video, I must give credit where it's due because this is not my idea. I did not come up with this concept. This idea comes courtesy of Banana Protein Bar over on Discord. He came up with this idea. He suggested it to me. So shout out to you, bro. Thank you so much for the idea because it's a fucking banger. If you guys want to get involved and suggest video ideas to me, you can go over to my Discord. There's a whole suggestions tab over there where you can suggest video ideas that you guys want to see from me. And I'm checking that tab every single day just to see what you guys want to see. Because obviously you can suggest them over here on YouTube as well. But here, like the comment section, like it's not specific, like it's not filtered for that specifically or like on Discord. So it might get lost. I might not see it. So yeah, anyway, if you guys want to check that out, then the link to my Discord is in my description like always. But anyway, today we're going to be doing this video. We got every single Barca player here that has played significant minutes or has been a significant part of the squad. Obviously this year, guys like Hector Fort, like Marguerite, all the younger La Masia players I'm not going to add in here because obviously no one thinks we should sell any of those guys. So yeah, we got keep, sell, and wait, the three tiers on the side. I added wait because obviously there's some players here who I don't want to make a judgment on right now. Like I want to see towards the end of the season how they play and then we can decide whether we want to keep or sell them. So yeah, that's why I added that tab. But yeah, this should be really fun. You guys understand the concept. If we want to keep them, we put them in keep. If we want to sell them, we put them in sell. And if I want to wait, I put it in wait. I mean, it's pretty fucking easy. I don't know why I just went through that whole explanation. But anyway, this should be fun. I cannot wait to get into this. So let's get into it. Starting off with Chavi. Now, I know Chavi's obviously not a player, so we can't sell him. But I did still want to add him to this video because I do think he's still a very important part of this team, if not the most important part of this team and how they perform on the pitch. And with all that being said, obviously, I made a whole yap session dedicated to Chavi and talking about like his time at the club. And also, if you follow me on TikTok for a while now, you know how I feel about Chavi, so I'll keep this short and sweet. I'm going to put him in sell, obviously, or sack. I just don't think he's the adequate man for the job right now. Maybe in a couple years when he gets a little bit more experience under his belt, he can come back and manage the team. But as it stands currently, I mean, the man management is terrible. The results aren't great. Just everything around it is just not great in my opinion. I mean, the football is not good either. I mean, everything is just kind of ugly around the club right now. I just don't feel like he's the right man for the job currently. Now, obviously, I would love to be wrong because like I said multiple times, I would love for Chavi to work out because he is one of my favorite players in the history of football. I mean, I grew up watching this club. I grew up watching Chavi become one of the best midfielders this game has ever seen. So I would love for him to win the European Cup as a player and as a manager, a la Pep Guardiola. But I don't think he's going to take us to those heights anytime soon. So for me, I'm going to put him in sell. Next, we got Marc-Andre ter Stegen. I'm going to put him in obviously keep. I think ter Stegen's coming off one of his best seasons the last couple years. He's been one of the best goalkeepers in Europe. This season before he got hurt in the international break, he was playing amazing. He's only 31 years old. I actually thought ter Stegen was a lot older. I thought he was like 33 or 34 for some reason. I'm not sure why. But we've had him for such a long time. I just thought he was a lot older than what he was. But yeah, dude, I would keep ter Stegen 100%. He saved us so many times. Last season, that clean sheet record or like that goals conceded record was mostly because of ter Stegen. Our defense was obviously good, but it wasn't great. I mean, it wasn't like historically great. And ter Stegen saved us so many times. And this season, despite the fact that we've been conceding a lot more goals, it's not ter Stegen's fault because he still bailed us out in a lot of games. I mean, this guy is elite, one of the best goalkeepers in the world right now. I would say top 3 or top 5 at worst, along with Courtois and Alisson, obviously. So I would 100% keep ter Stegen. He has like 3 or 4 more years at an elite level under his belt because, of course, like goalkeepers don't age like outfield players do. They can play for a little bit longer and maintain that level. And I see ter Stegen maintaining that level for a pretty long time. So I would 100% keep ter Stegen. Goalkeeper is one of the hardest positions to figure out in modern football, and we got it right now. So I would keep him 100%. Moving on to Joao Cancelo, who's obviously not our player. He's on loan from Man City, so we can't sell him. But I would like to keep him after his loan spell. I would like for Barca to buy him permanently. I've liked what I've seen from him this season going forward. I mean, I think he's really good. He gives us some different, like he's just very dynamic down the right hand side or even the left hand side. When he plays on either flank, I think he's really good. Defensively, he leaves a lot to be desired. But still, bro, I mean, modern day fullbacks, I would rather have, honestly, it sounds weird, but I would rather have a guy who's better at going forward and not so good at defending than a guy who's great at defending and just terrible after the halfway line. And Joao Cancelo, bro, he's one of the best attacking fullbacks in football. His crossing hasn't been that great this season, but his ability to take on players and his passing has been pretty good. And I just feel like he works really well for this team. Now, obviously, I would like to see him under a different manager who can maybe utilize him better because a lot of times this season, he just hasn't, I just feel like we don't get the maximum out of his potential in the way that we play him. But to me, I love Joao Cancelo. I would love to keep him 100%. I just think he's a very good fullback. And Barca, we're missing good fullbacks currently. And he's going to be injured for some time now. So we're going to see how badly we do without him. But he's a player that I would 100% love to keep from his loan spell. I think he's class. Next, we got Christensen. 100% keep. This guy's a fucking beast, bro. One of the few bright spots of this team this season. I mean, this guy's so elite. Defensively, he's amazing, obviously. Playing out from the back, he's one of the best in the world. Honestly, you could argue he's been our best center back this season. Christensen has been that good. At the beginning of the year, we were like, oh, Araujo and Koundé, they're going to be the two starting center backs. But Christensen, bro, he's played himself into that starting role, and he deserves to be the starter every single game at center back for Barcelona, whether we're playing a back three or back two with two center backs, obviously, and two fullbacks. I just think Christensen is that elite. I mean, this guy is a gem. He's a gem. He's only 27 years old, so he's not even old. And we got this guy on a free, bro. On a free transfer, Christensen, when he came in from Chelsea, obviously, after winning the UCL and being really good for them. So to me, I would 100% keep Christensen, an elite defender. Next, we got Frankie de Jong. I mean, there's really no debate about this. We're keeping Frankie de Jong, the best midfielder in the world, in my opinion, along with Rodri, if you want to throw him in there. This guy against Las Palmas on Thursday was amazing. I mean, every game he plays, he's fucking amazing. He's a Swiss Army knife. He can do it all. I cannot believe we almost sold this guy to Man United. That's fucking crazy to me. Yeah, but I adore Frankie de Jong. Probably the best player on this team, honestly. He's the best player on this team, in my opinion. So yeah, I would keep Frankie de Jong 100%. I don't care if a team comes around and offers 200 million. We cannot get rid of this guy. He's a generational talent. We must keep him no matter what. Next, we got Rafinha. Rafinha's a tricky one. I feel like a lot of Barca fans would say keep. A lot of Barca fans would say sell. I'm going to stay and wait. I want to see what he does the second half of the season, what he does in the UCL run, if we even go on a UCL run, but I want to see what he does against Napoli if he even plays. I just feel like Rafinha is a very inconsistent player. Now, when he's on, he's fucking amazing. I mean, he's really good when he's on, but when does that ever happen? I mean, it happens like once a blue moon, and there's a lot of games where he's off. He just can't take players on. He can't cross. He can't shoot. It's just his decision-making sometimes leaves a lot to be desired. He loses the ball a lot for my liking, or way too much for my liking, I should say. So to me, Rafinha, I don't think we're gonna get the money back that we got for him when we bought him from obviously Leeds, because I think we paid like around 55 million for Rafinha. So I don't know if a team's gonna pay that right now. But bro, he's just like I don't know, like it's weird with Rafinha because he has the talent to be an elite winger. But he's just a weird player, man. So I would wait to see till the end of the season, and then we can I can make this video again in like 5 months, and we can come to a conclusion then. But right now, I would just say wait. But I'm leaning more towards sell than keep because I do think we can get a good chunk of change for him. Now, is it going to be over 40 million? Maybe, I don't know. But I would just say, let's wait right now and see what happens, and then we can revisit in May and June. Jules Koundé, I'm going to put him in keep. Now, he hasn't been at his best recently. Since coming back from that injury, he has not been sharp and he's not been great. But before that injury, I need to remind you, he was arguably the best center back in the world on form. He's amazing at defending, obviously. He's amazing at playing out from the back. Everything that you need a center back to be good at, I think Jules Koundé is good at. Now, his aerial ability isn't great because he's not the tallest center back. But still, I mean, you make up for that when you have Christensen and Araujo next to him, who are both very tall. But to me, Jules Koundé is a very, very good player. I would like to see him regain his form in the second half of the season because I think that injury kind of derailed him a lot because he was on a tear, bro. He was on a tear. Every single game he played, he was arguably our best player, man of the match. And then he got injured, and since then, I think he got injured against Porto in the UCL in that away leg. And since then, like I said, he hasn't been the same. But I do think Jules Koundé is a gem of a player. I think he's one of the best young center backs in football. And to me, bro, like I don't see the reason to sell him. Obviously, if someone comes around and offers 120 million for Jules Koundé, I'd say fucking take him. But I don't think anybody's gonna offer that. And to sell him for the same amount of money that we paid for him, I think it's redundant. So why would we sell him? You know, it's the same thing that happened with Kessie. Why the fuck did we sell Kessie when we only got like 10 million for him? It made no sense to me. Which 10 million for Barca might be a lot, but still, bro, I would rather have Kessie right now than the 10 million because how the fuck did we spend those 10 million? We got Romeo. Like, what the fuck is that about? So anyway, I would love to keep Jules Koundé. I think he's a very, very good player. Obviously not in his best form right now, but when he's on form, he's fantastic. Moving on to Ferran Torres. I mean, this season, bro, I'm gonna keep. This season, he's been our most consistent attacker. Honestly, he has. Think about it. Who? Rafinha? Lewandowski, Joao Felix. No, it's been Ferran Torres. He scored on Thursday against Las Palmas. He was arguably our best attacker. Not even arguably, he was our best attacker before he came off. I would keep him, bro. I don't think there's any there's no downside to keeping Ferran Torres. How much could we get for him if we sell him again? All this is contingent on the fact that how much money could we get for these players. But I'm assuming no one's gonna pay like over 50 million for Ferran Torres. Because let's be honest, no one's really gonna pay that sum of money. Maybe in the current inflated football market, maybe someone comes around with like 45 or maybe who could like dreaming 50. Like I said, 50 million. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think anybody's gonna pay 60 or 70 million for Ferran Torres. But I do think he's a very, very good player. This season he's come back as a different man, bro. I mean, the Shark, he's been pouncing, he's been preying on people, and it's been working because, like I said, he's been our most consistent attacker. And if it wasn't for him, there's been a lot of games this season where we drop points, and he saved us in a lot of games this season. So, like obviously the one against Las Palmas comes to mind. He equalized that game for us. So for me, I would 100% keep Ferran Torres. Again, contingent on the fact that we don't get like a crazy sum of money for him. But right now, as it stands, what's the point in selling him? Moving on to Joao Felix, who again, he's on loan, so we can't sell him. But I would get rid of him. I've seen enough of Joao Felix. I was excited to have him at the club, and the first few games that he played, he was amazing. Looked like our best attacker. But since then, bro, he's been terrible. I mean, he's had a couple games here and there where he hasn't scored, but he's still been productive. But other than that, I mean, his highlight since September has been scoring that one goal against Atletico Madrid. That was it. I mean, what has he really done since then? To me, I just don't see it with this guy. I mean, we saw it at Atletico Madrid. I thought, oh my God, he wasn't great because obviously Simeone, it's defensive football, 11 behind the ball. Then he goes to Chelsea on loan. It was a dumpster fire, so I didn't put that on him. But now he comes to Barca, and granted, bro, we are not the perfect situation, not even close. And I'm not even sure if he's getting used the right way by the manager, but still, what I've seen from him this season, I don't know what we would pay, what, 40 million to keep him, whatever Atletico Madrid wants. I think they wanted like 40 million or upwards of 40 million. Who knows? Maybe they're crazy and they want like 70 million. There's no need to pay that money for him. We can get a more productive winger on the transfer market who's going to be cheaper than him, and who's just going to play better, bro. Because again, Joao Felix he's not been consistent this season, bro. And that's the problem with our team. We are not consistent. None of these players have honestly been consistent, apart from like 2 or 3. And I'm obviously talking about Frankie de Jong and Christensen. But Joao Felix has been one of those inconsistent players who has obviously contributed to us not being great, because Barca have been an inconsistent team. Actually, no, we've been consistently shit for the past 3 months. But anyway, Joao Felix to me, when your highlight of your Barca career happened your first 2 games in, it's just not good enough, bro. I mean, I would sell him. Next, we got Ronald Araujo, who's kind of a tricky one because obviously there's a lot of reports surfacing recently that he wants to that we're gonna sell him to Bayern, or that Bayern wants to buy him. Like Thomas Tuchel is in love with Ronald Araujo, and there's a report that came out today. I'm not sure how reliable it is. I saw it on Twitter about how Araujo wants to see how the project goes in the summer, and then he wants to make his decision whether he wants to stay or whether he wants to be sold. I'm not sure about that, but to me, I would keep Ronald Araujo. Again, if Bayern comes around with like 150 million, which is what I would ask for Araujo, or 120 million, I mean, I would still reluctantly let him go, or like not. I wouldn't be happy to let him go even with that price tag. But to me, Ronald Araujo currently is like, he hasn't had the best few games over the past like 3 or 4 games, but he's still an amazing center back, bro. Like, in terms of like talent and potential, he has the potential to be the best center back in the world. And to me right now, like, forget the form of the past 4 days, like, or the past 4 games, he's still to me a top 3 center back in the world. I think he's that good physically. I mean, he has every attribute that you want: his speed, his tackling ability, his aerial ability. He can score goals as well. He can play out from the back. He can play as a right back. This guy to me is amazing. I would not like to sell him, but again, I don't know how this is going to end. I don't know if he wants to leave. I don't know if he wants to stay. I don't know how much Bayern are going to offer. I don't know how much Thomas Tuchel really wants him, because it looks like he really, really wants him. Like I said, it looks like he's in love with Ronald Araujo currently. But to me, like I said, I would like to keep Ronald Araujo. I think he's a fantastic player. I think he's a gem. Players like him and talents like him, and we got him for so cheap too, bro. Like talents like him only come around once in a generation. He's honestly that good of a player. So yeah, I would keep Ronald Araujo. But again, we'll see what happens in the summer. Next, we got Gavi. I mean, obviously, we're going to keep Gavi. I mean, obviously, he's injured right now, but he's 19 years old. He'll recover from that injury fairly quickly. I don't think it's going to alter his career. I love Gavi. I mean, we're seeing how much we're missing him right now. Even with Gavi, we were pretty shit, but now we're even more shit without Gavi. We miss his intensity. We miss his presence on the pitch. I mean, this guy's amazing. He's amazing. He's obviously not the biggest guy on the pitch, but he has the heart of the biggest guy on the pitch, and he plays like the biggest guy on the pitch. I love Gavi, bro. I love Gavi. There's no reason to sell him. We could obviously get a lot of money for him, but what's the point? There's no, like, he's homegrown in La Masia. We keep Gavi 100%. And also, let's move on to Pedri right away. We're keeping Pedri as well. I mean, this guy, he gets injured a lot. I get that. But when he plays, he's amazing. And we're not going to give up on a player like him so early in his career. If we get rid of Pedri, some other team is going to snatch him up, and he's going to have 12 or 15 years where he's one of the best midfielders in the world. And I'm not going to be able to, like, we won't be able to live with ourselves because of that. Like Barca fans, we will not be happy with that. So we're keeping Pedri. We're keeping Gavi 100%. These two, obviously it's early, but they have the potential. They've shown that they can be the next Chavi and Iniesta. So to me, there's no reason to sell either of these guys. They're so young. They're still coming into their prime. They're not even at their prime yet. And I get it. Like, both of them deal with injuries. Gavi just dealt with his injury. Obviously, this long-term injury, the ACL. Pedri consistently deals with knick-knack injuries. Again, he's injured right now. But still, Pedri, 100% keep. Gavi, 100% keep. No need to sell. 2 generational talents. Next, we got Balde. I'm not going to give up on Balde just yet. I'm going to put him in keep. Because, again, he's so young, bro. And he's only, like, he's still growing, bro. He had a great season last season. This season, he has not been good. I mean, his crossing, I've said this a bunch of times. I don't think he's ever sent in a cross that has found a player in red and blue. Ever in his life. I mean, his crossing ability. It's like he crosses with his eyes closed. Honestly, he's so bad at crossing. And this season, defensively, he's been terrible. And again, going forward, he's been terrible. He's been dropped from the squad multiple times. And last season, he was a bona fide starter basically every single game in the starting 11 at left back. That was his position. But this season, he just hasn't been that. To me, again, he's only 19 years old or 18 years old. Whatever the fuck. However old Balde is, he's under 20. I'm sure about that. There's no need to sell Balde right now. We'll wait. Maybe next season, if he has another down year, maybe a team in the Premier League or some team in the Bundesliga or any league, actually, will pay a good amount of money for him because he's still young and very promising. But as of right now, there's no need to sell a young player like this who still has a lot of potential. Fermin Lopez, no need to sell him. We're going to keep him, obviously, because, like, again, the same thing with Gavi, Pedri, and Balde. He's still so young, homegrown in La Masia. I mean, this guy has shown so many promising games. He's been so promising in so many games this season. One of the bright spots of this team, in my opinion. I would love to see him. I would love for him to get more game time, actually. I would love for Chavi to play more. and not sit his ass on the bench so much. But still, again, I'm not the manager, so what the fuck do I know? But yeah, Fermin Lopez, there's no need to expand on this. We're keeping Fermin Lopez. He's young, he's talented, and he has a lot of potential. Moving on to Robert Lewandowski. I mean, you guys need, do I have to say this, bro? Really, do I have to say this? We're selling him. Get him the fuck out of my team. I would hope for him to leave in January, but this guy's so washed. It's incredible. His constantly complaining and bitching on the pitch pisses me off. I'm up to here with that shit. Honestly, I'm up to here with it. Every time he doesn't get the ball, he complains and nags and moans, despite the fact that he does fucking nothing every time he's on the pitch. He's an attacker who can't score. He's an attacker who can't pass. He's an attacker who has the worst first touch I've ever seen in my fucking entire life. Robert Lewandowski needs to get the hell out of my club. Right now. Right now. I'm sorry, bro. If you're a Lewandowski fan, God bless you. I mean, he was great in his prime. He scored 5 goals in 9 minutes. We'll never forget that. He was top goal scorer in the UCL. He should have won a Ballon d'Or in 2020, but wasn't canceled because of COVID. All those things are true, but you know what else is true? Right now, he's the worst player in La Liga. And I'm not even exaggerating when I say that. He's the worst player in La Liga right now. He's terrible, bro. Every single game he plays, I'm like, why the fuck is this guy on the pitch? And the best part about the game against Las Palmas, that whole game was pretty shit in my opinion, but the best part about that game was that Chavi actually took him out. He didn't play the whole 90 minutes. Robert Lewandowski needs to be sold right now. The fact that there's reports that he's gonna stay another season, I'm gonna fucking blow my brains out, bro. Honestly, I'm sorry for being so graphic, but this guy's not good enough for Barcelona. He needs to get out of the club right now, and he's been bad for over a year now. Post-World Cup, he's been bad. So he needs to get out. Sorry for this long rant, but he's just not good enough right now. Not good enough for Lewandowski. Bye-bye. Saudi League, Chinese League, fucking, I don't know, Qatari League, wherever the fuck you want to go. Nepal League. Do they have a league in Nepal? Go over there, go play over there. Go anywhere except for Barcelona, because we don't want you anymore. Anyways, after that, Lamine Yamal, we are keeping Lamine Yamal, of course, promising young player, one of the most promising youngsters in football, 16 years old. And I think this guy's going to win a Ballon d'Or at some point in his career. Obviously, he's still young, so he can't be part of the starting 11 every single game. But when he plays, bro, I mean, he's pretty fucking good. He's been one of our best wingers this season. He's actually been one of our best players when he plays this season, and that's crazy to say because we're talking about FC Barcelona, one of the biggest clubs in football, and he's 16 years old. But La Masia player, I mean, this kid has the potential to be one of the best in the history of the game. I'm honestly like you don't come up the ranks at 16 and play for one of the biggest clubs in the world, and you start some games when you're 16 years old. If your potential is not great, like one of the greatest of all time, I don't think you'll get to GOAT, but one of the greatest of all time. So Lamine Yamal, no need to sell him. Any club in Europe would actually pay over 150 million for this guy because he's that good and that young. But we are not selling him. There's no fucking need to sell him. There's no chance for selling him. He's staying 100%. Okay, Gundogan. I would keep Gundogan. I mean, he's 33 years old, so he's not a young man, but he's still not really old. Like, he's not the oldest guy on the pitch, obviously. And this season, he's been actually one of our best players. He obviously scored the penalty against Las Palmas to win us the 3 points. And to me, Gundogan, he brings like a presence on the pitch, like a presence kind of like Busquets. Obviously, he's not homegrown and not a Barca legend like Busquets, but still, you need that veteran in the midfield. And I feel like Gundogan a lot of times this season has been really, really fucking good. He's been good more times than he's been bad. I can think of maybe 1 or 2 bad games that he's had this year, but most of the games he's played, he's been one of our best players. He's obviously a fantastic passer, and he just does everything really well, in my opinion. And he's a great mentor for the young midfielders that we have on the team, which we have a lot of, like Pedri and Gavi and Fermin, obviously. So to me, obviously, Gundogan should stay. After next, like, I say we keep him this season, obviously, then 1 more season, and then after that, we can obviously shop him and get, like, what, 5 or 10 million for him. But right now, I mean, he came on a free. He wanted to come to Barca. Let's keep Gundogan. Next, we got Íñigo Martinez. I'm going to put Íñigo in weight. Now, I know that's weird because, obviously, Íñigo has been one of our best players this season. Honestly, he's been that good as a center back. I mean, a guy who we really didn't have that many expectations for coming in. I mean, obviously, as a signing, he's been really, really fucking good. But he is 32 years old. So we'll see what happens towards the end of the season if he, like, keeps his form going or if he maybe toes off in form. If he keeps his form going, again, wait doesn't mean sell or it doesn't mean keep. It just means let's wait and see what happens. And if he keeps his form, I would love to keep him. But obviously, like 32 years old, a player who historically isn't one of the best center backs in the world. So we'll see what happens. But right now, I mean, I would love to keep him. But again, I don't know how he's gonna like perform towards the end of the season. So we're just gonna put him in weight just to be safe. Oriol Romeu, sell. You're washed, bro. You're terrible. You're terrible. First few games you were good. You're actually one of the bright spots on this team. You're so bad. Honestly, it's painful how bad you are. I don't know who's worse, you or Lewa. Honestly, you two on a team, it's criminal, honestly. It's criminal. We have both of these guys on the team. He's awful. He's awful. He's awful. He's so bad at decision making. He's not good defensively. He's not fast. He's not good in the air. What does this guy do well? Honestly, what does he do well? I don't know. Like, obviously, the Johnny Sins memes are funny as fuck, but we're not keeping a guy on the team for memes. Let's be honest, guys. He needs to be sold right now. He's terrible. And with that being said, let's just complete this video right now. Marcos Alonso needs to be sold, man. He needs to be sold. I mean, this guy's not only a terrible human being, but he's a terrible footballer currently. I don't know what the fuck he continues to do at this club. He needs to get the fuck out. He needs to get the fuck out. I mean, there's no point. I mean, his best moment for Barcelona was scoring that goal in the first leg against Man United in the Europa League. But other than that, I mean, what the fuck does this guy really do? What is he good at? Really, what is he good at? He's too old, but and again, like I said, he's a shitty human being. Go to the bar and have a drink, my man. You're washed. Anyway, and then lastly, we got Sergi Roberto. Sergi, you're a club legend, man. I love you. I will never forget the run against Real Madrid. I will never forget the goal against PSG. I'll never forget any of that, bro. You're a Barca legend, okay? But it's time to go. This season you've been serviceable again, but you're just not good enough anymore, bro. You honestly, you haven't been good enough for the past 4 years, and we've kept you on the team because you're a good squad player. And right now you're kind of shining like a star because this team is playing so shit. But he's just not a guy that you should have on your team if you're trying to contend for big trophies. Again, I'm a Barca fan, okay? And you guys know this. I mean, I love Sergio Roberto. Again, I mentioned those moments. He's a Barca legend forever in my heart. Forever in my heart is a Barca legend. But right now, it's time to go, bro. I would have rather kept Busquets and sold Sergi, but instead we sold Busquets and kept Sergi, or Busquets left and we kept Sergi. It's enough, bro. It's enough. It's been a good run, but it's been enough. Maybe you could go over and coach Barca or become like go to the front office in Barcelona or something. But right now it's just like it's time to go. I mean, you saved us against fucking what was the team that we played against? That you saved us. I'm forgetting the name, but the game before the Christmas break, that before we played America, he saved us in that game. Great, but it's just not. He's not good enough. Oh, it was who was it that we played? Almeria. It was against Almeria. He was great. He obviously scored the 2 goals, which was crazy. But more times than not, this guy's a liability on the pitch. And that, guys, is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry for getting a little bit angry with some of these players here. But again, I'm very passionate about this team. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Any other teams you guys want to see me do this with, let me know in the comment section. And also check out the Discord and go to the suggestions tab and suggest some more videos you guys want to see from me. And yeah, man, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.